Well, we've had some fun in a couple chapters, South Metro, Fireside, Right Connections, and Network Masters. So we've been doing this at a couple of chapters. And it's suggesting minimum standards and requirements for our members. And what we're going to do is walk through some things that Juan discovered at South Metro that we can apply through all chapters, be it young or old, brand new or 2 years old, what have you. What do chapters want? What's that? Make money. What do members want? So are they making all the money they can in BNI? No. So what we're going to do is, Juan's going to explain a program that he put together in analyzing South Metro. So I'm going to turn it over to Juan.
Okay.
The Cookie Man.
The Cookie Man.
There's a call coming in. Hey, good morning. Juan Ramirez, and actually what we're going to share with you is the result of our own chapter, the South Metro, and our president, Alex, and the rest of the leadership team. We got together because the whole thing was, how can we raise the bar in our chapter? And in previous presentations today, people were talking about how can we change the culture? So that's what we're going to show to you, a little presentation that we put together at the leadership level, and then we took it back to our to the whole chapter, and I think it turned out pretty good. But let's see, how does this work? Okay, there we go. The theme that we were showing, the theme that we were following is from that book that chances are that some of you have read. The book is From Good to Great. So that's the theme that we were following. So we went to our chapter and we said, hey, you know what? We are pretty good, but how could we be great? And we want to share some things with you. So as the book says, you know, from good to great. However, as one of the quotes from the authors about becoming great, he says that good is the enemy of great. Sometimes we think that we are pretty good, and sometimes we get a little bit complacent, and sometimes we need a little push to be able to become great. So we look at all kinds of different things. What do we need to do? What kind of things? A lot of brainstorming and this and that. And guess what? At the end of the day, it's all about basics. Nothing new under the sun. The same things that we have been talking about over and over and over on BNI. And this was confirmed because just about the same time we have these visitors from Ireland. And they came and they told us that the keys to success in their chapters, the studies that they had done, these were the keys to success. They said, if we focus on visitors, if we focus on referrals, and one-to-ones and training, our chapters will be very successful. Our chapters will go from good to great. And we said, aha, that sounds pretty good. But now, let's figure out and see how we are doing. So what we did is that we went back to the last 12 months, and we made this presentation around the March, April time frame. So what we did for our own chapter, we went back the last 12 months, and this is what we found out. And by the way, we segmented our chapter a little bit. We looked at our membership and we said, okay, how many people have been in our chapter 3 years or less? How many people have been in the chapter between 3 and 5 years? And how many people have been in the chapter for more than 6 years? So we have the apprentices, you know. We have the middle of the pack type of people, and we have the people who are the experts, right? The people who have been in the chapter for a while. And what we found out was very, very interesting, because when it comes to visitors, in the last 12 months in our chapter, most of the visitors, who do you think brought in most of the visitors? The apprentices. They were the ones who brought in most of the visitors. Then we looked at referrals. It was a little bit more even. But again, it was the visitors and the middle of the pack, the ones who were bringing in most of the activity. And our experts, the red ones, sitting in nicely, you know. And then on the one-to-ones, you know, and sometimes it's because the new ones, you know, the new members, you know, they want to get to know and this and that, you know. But again, the point is, who is generating the most of the activity for these kinds of things. And then training, that might be a little bit obvious because the new members, we require from them to go to training and this and that. But that doesn't mean that the rest of the people should not go to training. So this was a little bit of an eye-opener, not only to us, the leadership team, but to the members, And because sometimes the people who have been in our chapter for a long time, seniority doesn't mean results in some cases. So we need to keep those things in mind. So what we did, we said, and we presented this in a very positive view, kind of a little bit fun and so on and so on. And we tell them, okay, what do we need to do to go from good to great? And again, we just need to focus on the basics, as we have been talking about. So we said, okay, we're going to focus on those things. So what we are suggesting to our chapter, to our members, is that in order to go from good to great, we need to have, each member should have one visitor.
Non-BNI member.
Each member should have 12 referrals, should produce 12 referrals, should participate in 6 one-to-ones, and should attend 1 training. Each member.
MSP or an advanced training. Those are the ones that qualify.
Is this monthly or weekly or?
Well, hold on.
And if each member does that, we will be in great shape. And as we were talking about this, people were getting very excited, and they were asking, well, how often should we do this? Or in what's the time frame we should do that? People start raising their hands and they say, we got to do this in 3 months, 6 months and this and that. And we said, oh, that's great. But the point is that we want to make it very easy for everybody, kind of like a no-fail kind of objective type of thing. We said, if everybody does that in 12 months, we will be great. As a matter of fact, if we would have done that the last 12 months, we would have had an additional 40 plus new visitors in our chapter. Okay? So that's what we are trying to do in our chapter. And by the way, we also said, sometimes happens that people, they come a little late, they leave a little early and so on. We said, too late or too early leaves is going to equate to 1 absence. Okay? And we just put it over there. And everybody voted, and that's what we are going for. And by the way, these are the new requirements, and they are supposed to be met not only by the new members, but they are part of the renewal process. The whole thing is that we want to be able to give more opportunity to everybody to achieve more business.
So this has been going on Fireside for the last 5 years. Jean was president. We all sat down and figured out what can we do. So this is something that's been taking place in a couple of chapters. And in a 1.5 to 2 years, Fireside went with this requirement from 33 to 63 members. Okay? So now we've doubled the requirements. It's now 12 one-to-ones, 24 referrals, 2 non-BNI visitors. So what does that mean? It means a financial planner who hasn't brought a visitor in a year walks up to his director and says, what do? I have 30 days till I renew. I haven't had a visitor and I want to be in the chapter. It forces someone who will never normally bring a visitor to figure out who they're going to bring. It also has a sighting guy bring his wife on Visitors Day because he needs a visitor. She's a non-BNI member. She's never met the chapter. What happens there? They're replacing their carpet. They're getting their windows cleaned. They're buying a new car. They're getting new insurance. She didn't know really what BNI was, and he had no clue she wanted to do these things in the house. So what does it mean? It means more members joining the chapter, which means more money. It also means that the chapter is retaining members. Because believe it or not, just like attendance, members stay because all of a sudden everyone's on the same playing field. What does it mean for your membership committee? There's no question who you're going to renew now. Do we like this person? Yeah, they bring a lot of referrals. We had one guy that brought 10 referrals 1 year, no visitors, no one-to-ones. Another guy brought 241 referrals, same year. 241 referrals were the coffee shop. Every time he bought a cup of coffee, he turned in a referral slip. The 10 referrals was $250,000 worth of business to the chapter. And they were not going to renew this gentleman because he only gave 10 referrals, he did nothing else. So what happened when we asked this individual to step up, bring visitors, do 6 one-to-ones? He doubled his referrals, which what do you think that meant? $500,000 of business to the chapter. So we're making more money. Chapters are growing, and visitors increase, and what do visitors do?
Make more money.
They make more money. Okay? So it's all about the money. It's something simple. Now we're just giving you a suggestion on what chapters could do. You decide what the culture of the chapter is at each of your chapters and make the suggestion for the membership committee to come up with. But the secret here is always have a visitor requirement. And it's a non-BNI member. Because we all know BNI members and we can fill that visitor, but they're never going to become a member and they probably won't spend the money because they have other chapter members. So at least make the requirements, if nothing else. Everyone has to have one non-BNI member as visitor, as their guest. Okay? So good luck with that. I've been doing this for years. My chapters are all starting to adopt it. If you have questions, I'm happy to help you how to sell it to your chapter and what to do. All right?
Now, one of the key things